Mr. Miller, I'm John Fitzgerald. I'm actually running in the primary as a Democrat against you. I ran last time also.
Yes.
And the question I do have is, yes, mark my words, we are entering a major decline with the economy, and it is not a recession, it is definitely depression. And anybody that knows of a lady named Elizabeth Warren is speaking about just this issue. In order to ask you a question, I have to give you a little background on what she is stating.
Their time.
That's fine, but it's pertinent. You know, what we need, if we may, please. I'm a diehard progressive Democrat, and the reason I am running, I voted for this man my entire life. The reason I am running is because certain issues are not being addressed, and I think debate is good. And we need debate with other Democrats, to get issues on the table that are pertinent to this community. Okay, the question I do have, Mr. Miller, would you be willing? This is unfair.
Well, let me just ask the question. But wait, let's stop for 1 second here. Wait.
This is a democracy.
That's what he just said.
Turn his mic on.
Shut me down!
Okay,
Let
Mr.
that man talk! Let him ask a question, not be named.
This isn't a debate.
You know, I
it's a question.
Could I just say something? In all of the years I've held town hall meetings, I've had raucous ones, and I've had one day just me and the janitor from the elementary school showed up, nobody else came. He got an hour of my undivided attention. He was happier than hell. But the only thing I've ever asked, I don't rule out questions, I don't, all that. The only thing I ask is try to treat people with a little bit of courtesy. That's all I've ever asked in my town hall meetings. And I think when you have a limited amount of time, and people have a lot of questions, you have to form your question, but you're welcome to ask me this question, but I'd ask others to. It's a matter of courtesy, that's all it is.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Okay, would you be willing to debate me and get the issues out on the table so the people, your constituents...
I apparently wouldn't have time, your questions are so long, but we'll see.
Okay, that's not a long question. Okay, would you be willing to debate?
We'll see how the campaign comes out.
And secondly,
Who else
very
is in the
quickly,
campaign. I don't even know where the district is.
Would you be willing to audit the Federal Reserve? And would you support Dennis Kucinich's bill to actually reform our monetary system and actually give it back to the Treasury in order to actually allow us to know where our money is going and let Congress have oversight?
You have your question. Okay, you're really quick. As I said, I was not a big fan of Alan Greenspan, and I'm not necessarily. I think Ben Bernanke got handed the cards he got handed. I'm not convinced that they've all been played well, but that's me. But when I see the political atmosphere in Washington today, I think I'm happy at the margins that the Federal Reserve continues to be independent. And I know there's many people who can't stand it. I've railed against it a good portion of my public life. But I think that when I see the serious politicization of the process in Washington, I don't think it's such a bad idea to have an independent agency. Nothing is beyond the reach of Congress should they decide to do it. But you get some margins for judgments to be made, for people to come on to the various regional boards around the country to make their best determinations about the direction of the economy, what might be helpful, what might be harmful. And I think it's important to have some distance between that and the White House, some distance between that and the Congress, because if they just become a tool of an administration or a Congress, I don't think we're well served. The question of auditing is sort of a Trojan horse for getting rid of them. They believe that they're going to have some great discovery that somehow. So that's part of the school of abolishing the Fed.
It's a privately owned bank.
You know what?
Okay, let's get on to the question. We have questions.
I've given my answer for tonight on that question.